gentleman who will circle that jumper, and that is World Freestyle Aerobatic Champion Rob Holland. Take a look. In just a moment, we'll have jumpers away, and as he does, you'll see Rob start to circle Jen Espinosa as she comes earthward at about 120 miles per hour. With the wind that's coming, there, he's broken off. You can see the smoke from Jen Espinosa's smoke canister that's attached to her boot. This is the way to start an air show. The Golden Knights are the Army's official parachute team. And with a sky like this, I hope you're getting plenty of great pictures at the same time. Coming through 6,000 feet, Jen has a view of the Hampton Roads area like none other. When she reaches about 3,000 feet, she's going to reach behind her right hip, toss out a little leather ball, slightly smaller than a tennis ball. It'll throw out a pilot chute, and very soon you will see the high-flying black and gold of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Now, as she comes down very shortly, she will deploy an American flag. And at that time, I'm going to ask all of you to stop what you're doing wherever you are. I'm going to ask you to come to your feet, remove your caps if you're in uniform, come to attention, because we are going to have the national anthem sung today by Senior Airman Melissa LaCour. In this great wind, Rob Holland continues to circle. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, please rise. Come to attention. Remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem by Melissa LaCour.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now, over your left shoulder, let's celebrate freedom right now as we have the Raptors and the T-38s from right here at the first fighter wing. Awesome job. Wonderful. Hope to see you out on the road. As they go by, the pilots, Major Evan Bogey Parr, Major Keith Habu Young, Lieutenant Brent Swank Maggard, and Lieutenant Billy Orr McCarthy flying those 4 jets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Colonel Steve Bugs Bunting, who is...
At this time, members of the Gold Demonstration Team are flying high overhead in our distinctively painted UV-18 Twin Otter at an altitude of 12,500 feet. The jump master is actually looking out the rear door of the aircraft. His head is outside in the wind and the cold. Through a series of hand and arm signals, the jump master is relaying heading corrections to the pilots, maneuvering the aircraft to a precise exit point for the jumpers. The aircraft has been slowed to a safe exit speed of 120 miles per hour. In a matter of moments, you will see jumpers exit the left door of this aircraft. Jumpers are out and the smoke is on. We now have members of the Golden Knights rapidly approaching speeds of 120 miles per hour. The initial part of the formation is called the base, and it forms quickly as the initial jumpers fly their bodies together while interlocking their arms and legs to form the nucleus of the formation. The remaining jumpers sit up slightly above and outside the formation, awaiting the team leader's call. At 9,000 feet, the team leader signals the outside jumpers to complete the formation. They will fly their bodies together using their hands, arms, legs, and shoulders as flight controls. At 5,000 feet, the team leader will wave his arms, signaling all jumpers to perform our bomb burst maneuver. Watch for the canopies. And there you have the high-flying black and gold of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Now, as you may have guessed, these jumpers are faced with a unique situation. A traffic jam in the sky. They must gain vertical separation to allow for individual approaches into the target area. This is accomplished by pulling down on the front part of the parachute and spiraling earthwards at speeds in excess of 60 miles per hour to set up a traffic pattern, just like you might see aircraft at a busy airport. The parachutes used by the Golden Knights are flexible wing gliders. Constructed of lightweight ripstop nylon, these parachutes have an inherent forward airspeed of 22 miles per hour. To turn left, the jumper pulls down on the left steering line. To turn right, the jumper simply pulls down on the right steering line. As the jumpers near the ground, they will pull down on both steering lines simultaneously for the safest and softest possible landing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in the first of your Golden Knights, Staff Sergeant Brandon Parr, the Assistant Team Leader of the Gold Demonstration Team. Looking high overhead, it may appear that two parachutes have become entangled. However, this is not the case. These jumpers are performing a facet of the sport called canopy relative work. Due to the unique aerodynamic design of these Ram Air parachutes, it is possible to fly one canopy into the hands of another jumper without adversely affecting its flight characteristics. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the remaining jumpers as they set up for beautiful target area landing. Golden Knight is 26 years old, has more than 1,200 free-fall parachute jumps, and is proficient in one of the hundreds of Army occupational specialties. He or she joined the Army for a multitude of reasons: training, educational benefits, travel, adventure, excitement, and a chance to mature. In short, to get an edge on life and become part of America's finest team. At 1,000 feet, each jumper does what is called a wind penetration check, checking his speed and distance across the ground. He then flies a downwind leg, a base leg 90 degrees to the target, and turns and faces into the wind for his final approach. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the last of our jumpers as they come into the target area. United States Army Parachute Team was formed in 1959 at the home of the Airborne, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. At that time, the team consisted of 19 original members. Each was selected to assist in the development of modern parachuting techniques, to provide world-class competition parachutists, and to perform live aerial demonstrations in support of Army public relations and recruiting.
Overhead there, high and to the right. Major Evan Bogey Parr. That's a natural. Major Keith Habu Young, Lieutenant Brent Swank Maggart, and Lieutenant Billy Orr McCarthy, the pilots of the Raptors and the T-38s. jets. And in case you're not a big aviation person, watch how they land, because they're going to keep the nose wheels of these airplanes off the ground as much as possible to slow them down. Early in the jet age, they had parachutes that would come out the back to help slow them down. But now with the designs of the aircraft, they can use the fuselage and the wings to help slow the airplanes down without burning out the brakes on the small tires. Aerodynamic braking, you can watch them as they come in. Coming up in just a few minutes, we've got our first aerobatic demonstration. We've got Randy Baldwin, who's going to fly a Vietnam-era MiG-17 Fresco aircraft, the big adversary of the United States during the Vietnam War, against our Phantoms and the Crusaders and the Skyhawks and the other jets that were flown by the Americans during the Vietnam War. The F-22 Raptor from right here at the 1st Fighter Wing. As soon as we get these airplanes on the ground, we're going to welcome Del Collar to the show, flying an Extra 300, and the gentleman who will tell you all about that is Tim Jarvis, a good friend from Jack Wings. See him keeping the nose wheels up on those? That's how it works. That's Golden Knights aircraft right there, being flown today by David Clay and Captain Ben Fizel. And that is a de Havilland Twin Otter, one of the aircraft that they use. The T-38 Talon is what's landing right now. The T-38's been around since about 1959. And as I mentioned earlier, is the first supersonic trainer that the Air Force ever had. The first flight, 1959. Your taxpayer dollars are being well spent with this airplane. They made about 1,200 of them. 15,000 plus pilots have been trained. The average number of hours on each one of those T-38 Talons is about 15,000, with a total of about 15 million flight hours in the entire fleet since it first flew back over 50 years ago.